Hey toy collectors, welcome to another super exciting, outrageous toy review. Today, I want to talk to you about the G.I. Joe Ram motorcycle. The Rapid Fire motorcycle was released as part of the 1982 and 1983 lineup. It was one of the small vehicles that did not include a driver. I got one of these vehicles probably around 1984 or 1985 in a box of hand-me-down G.I. Joes that started my obsession with this toy line. I had the Ram with the sidecar, no saddlebags. It did have the kickstand, and I played with it all the time. I actually took my Ram and some figures on a family vacation to a beach house that we had rented with other relatives, and the Ram rolled off a sofa, and the front fork and wheel broke off, and I was devastated. My dad did glue it back together, but the repair job didn't last forever. I eventually got another one at a flea market, and I basically never stopped collecting them after that. So anytime I got a collection that I bought, I would keep the Rams out of it. If I saw them at a toy show cheap, I'd buy them. If I saw them at a flea market, I'd buy them. Friends that were fellow collectors oftentimes would give me a Ram out of a collection if they bought it, and I was helping them sort it to resell and things like that. So I've amassed a really large collection of Rams, and I never really sat down to look at it. The original goal, my original concept was I wanted the entire G.I. Joe team to be a mobile strike force. And by the entire team, I mean the original team. You have a lineup of vehicles, some of which are towable and some of which are drivable. Many came with drivers, some had extra seats, some did not. So, you could give Grand Slam the jetpack, but basically to me, Grand Slam operates the HAL, so the HAL is going to get towed by the Mobat, Steeler's driving that. The MMS is going to get towed behind the Vamp, and Hawk and Clutch can ride in the Vamp. That leaves us with quite a few figures that have to walk. Breaker, Snake Eyes, Scarlet, Rock and Roll, Short Fuse, Zap, right? They all are perfect candidates to ride on their very own Ram motorcycles. So, after I looked through the Rams I had, complete with 2 saddlebags, a kickstand, and a sidecar, no broken pegs, no broken attachments for the guns, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Rams. So that's a pretty good number, and that's not really considering the quality of the sticker jobs, because I do have people that put controls on in both orientations and things like that. But that's okay. It's all fun for me. Now, in addition to those, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 more Rams that all need kickstands. So these are otherwise complete and in good condition. And I have to say, I love this one. It has an R on it. This probably belonged to a kid named Robbie or Robert or something like that. And he marked it so he could find his. I love those little things. I know that's not ideal for a perfect collection, but I think that's just cool when you have a collection like this where there's like a ridiculous number of them. So I have 13 complete Rams, 8 complete Rams minus the kickstands. I do have extra sidecar guns here. I do have some extra saddlebags. That stuff is all super useful. While we're talking about the Ram, I do have 2 boxes. One of these I bought at one point, and one my buddy Tony from RetroCon got me. And the one that Tony got me, I love, because it says men, good and bad. Meaning that some kid stored his G.I. Joes, the Cobras and the Joes, in the same box. I think that's hilarious. Over here is my stash of train wrecks. So I have several sidecars with broken pegs. I have several bikes that have their regular pegs that the riders need, but the peg from a machine gun's broken off in there. These I'm tempted to glue together just for fun. You know, this is still a playable toy. I would want to do something to make it obvious that it was glued. Maybe just not be super neat about the glue job so you could see that it was glued. I wouldn't want someone to, think these were perfect ones. But they are really mostly in good shape. I do have a pile here that are real beaters. They have broken pegs. They don't have kickstands. Again, still fun to play with. This one's got a decal from some other toy on it. A little radar screen. Still fun toys, but just missing kind of everything. And then in the middle here, I have a pile that all have something wrong with them, but still have a kickstand. So these ones I plan to pirate the kickstands off of to fix these guys. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 good kickstands for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That works out pretty perfectly. And a few of these have broken kickstands still attached. So I'm going to practice taking the broken ones off first. You have to kind of squeeze the pins together to get them out safely. I'm going to practice on the broken kickstands before I try taking off the good kickstands off these broken bikes. But I'm going to try and get as many beautiful bikes together as possible. I think it's going to be great. I love the Ram, but this has kind of gotten out of control. It's about 35 Rams in total in varying states of quality, which is pretty crazy. I do also have a few other Ram items that I want to share. I don't have the model kit Ram, but in the early 80s, some of the G.I. Joe vehicles were released as model kits, including the Ram, the Dragonfly, the Mobat, and the Ram. Did I say the Vamp? I have the Vamp model. This is the sidecar to the Ram model. You can see that it is a little bit smaller. It's a darker shade of green. Has different pegs to it for attaching it. So someday if I ever find that Ram model, I have a sidecar for it. I have the die-cast Ram, which looks really nice. This is even smaller than the model kit is. And then I have a few more modern items. This little tin that contains some candies has Yo Joe written on the front and a little Ram artwork on it. This is sealed. I think it still has some of the jelly beans inside or whatever. Yeah, jelly bean and tin. These were available at Cracker Barrel restaurants and some other places as a novelty item back in the 2010s, maybe? I forget exactly when. And then I also have two 25th anniversary modern Ram motorcycles. This is the green one that is meant to harken back to the original. It has the sidecar. It actually has handlebars this time. Instead of just compartments to shove the guy's hands, it has saddlebags. They can actually open this time. You can store pistols and things inside them. It's a really nice update of the cycle, and they remolded it in tan at one point and included it with a driver. I like the tan version as well. So those two are more modern releases, and I also have one custom Ram piece here that I wanted to share with you guys. And this came from a G.I. Joe meet, a PA G.I. Joe meet in Pottsville, Pennsylvania on July 17th, 2010. It was a Ram add-on pack, and it was custom sculpted and custom cast by a guy who was at that show. It's made to fit on the modern Ram, so I can remove one of the saddlebags here, and this custom radio pack will peg onto the side of the Ram, and it has an antenna and a microphone, and it's beautiful. It's a really neat accessory. And the castings for the radio and the antenna were a little stiffer than he wanted, so he actually cast them twice and gave us the stiff versions as well as a softer, more flexible version of each that had a little bit more of the playability that he wanted with them. So I think that is super cool. And that is the Ram. I mean, I have a ton of them. I feel like I rushed through that. I don't know if I expressed how amazing the Ram really is, but it is such a fun toy. So cool to play with. And it's so versatile. You know, you can take the sidecar off and make it like a high-speed chase motorcycle. With the sidecar, it's got some serious firepower. And as a kid, I just had a blast pretending it was going off of jumps and going on missions. You could actually slap two guys on the back of it and have them ride around on the Ram. I mean, it's really a fun vehicle, and I hope that everybody watching this appreciates the Ram as much as I do. Thanks for watching this super exciting, outrageous toy review. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out my other videos.